Thank you for inviting me. It was a pleasure presenting my work to you today. So today I have been looking at the role of political trust and how that influences the likelihood of people to support for the far right. And based on some robust findings from using the European Social Survey longitudinal data, I have shown that overall political trust is negatively associated with the rise of the far right. So people who trust the system tend not to opt for the far right. Yet this relationship is not the same among the core electorate of the far right, the nationalists, those people who are strongly anti-immigrant. And among this group of voters, what we find is that political trust has either no effect, so it does not come into the voting calculus, or even under some circumstances, it has a positive effect, meaning that it amplifies the effect of anti-immigration attitudes on support for the far right. The core implication is that I think the findings point towards the democratic trade-off. So if policymakers wish to use political trust in order to address the rise of the far right, they need to look at this, its effect in two ways. On the one hand, it does have a limiting mobilizational potential for the broad electorate. Indeed, people who are broadly trustful of the system are not likely to opt for the far right, yet it might also have a galvanizing effect among a small core electorate of the far right. One project that I am thinking at the moment is to look at the psychological underpinnings of support for the far right. So to look at the role of emotions and how emotions about immigration may affect the support of the far right. And with some preliminary work I've carried out on this shows that people who are angry at immigration are very likely to opt for the far right, yet people who are fearful as a result of immigration are not likely to opt for the far right. So I would like to take that distinction, anger versus fear, forward and see and test it using broader data sets and looking at its wider implications for society.
Professor Sophia Vasilopoulou from the University of York, thank you so much for joining us.